Do you know how to read a job description? Sometimes people get a little overwhelmed and they're reading too much or they're reading too little. So check out this video right now and I will show you how. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. If you haven't seen this channel before, it is all about upping your game as a recruiter. Let's be the good recruiter, the great recruiter. So today we're going to talk about job descriptions. In my opinion, I don't like them. I don't like them at all, and I rarely ever send them. But as a recruiter, you need to know how to read them because sometimes a hiring manager is just going to give you a job description to go off of, which is crazy. You definitely should have a conversation and you should ask lots of questions. But if it's only a job description to go off of, let's check it out. So we're going to do a little share screen. I'm going to talk you through some job descriptions and then try to figure out, really what are they looking for if you can't have that conversation. All right, see you on the flip side.
Okay, so welcome to this share screen here. For some reason the camera's not working, but it is what it is. You don't need to look at me. So what this is I wanted to show you how to read a job description. So there's a few reasons why you need to know. One, so you can understand what you're looking for before even the hiring manager tells you. Before you have these meetings, you can have all of your questions ready to go. You also need to do this because as someone that is, I guess, a specialist, I would say, in the talent acquisition space as a recruiter, you need to know why it is important to have a good job description and then what it can and cannot do for them. With that said, I don't love job descriptions because I think a lot of people read too much into it because they're not done well. But if they're done well, these can be great resources in order to get people interested in your client. So it's very important that either you do a great job on it or you just scratch it. And then you just get really great at pitching what they'll be working on, either via email or over the phone. I think both are super powerful. So as you know, if you watch my videos, I do all tech. So software engineering, I just put the United States. I think LinkedIn just has such a great interface for looking at jobs, which is why I picked this. And it is super important to look at job descriptions as much as you look at resumes at first. So I don't read them anymore, but you need to if you're just getting going because you need to know what's good and bad and what's normal. I think that's super important. So what on the top you're going to normally see, this is what they do. Here at Shipt, we're transforming the grocery and shopping experience, giving time back to consumers. Shipt shoppers handpick fresh groceries, household essentials, delivered to your door, less than 1 hour. So this can be deemed as mission-driven and very impactful, which is a great sell for a lot of people right now, especially, coming out of COVID. We say we're out of it, but I don't know if we're completely out of it. But, especially in this moment in time where the world is, this is for sure mission-driven. And I think engineers want to code in something that a lot of people touch. I think that's the key here. So it just says here, it's growing. We're searching for a senior software engineer. That's the level. Depending on the company, depends on how many years they want, or really do they want to just see them come out of a company where they've actually had a lot of impact alone. So here we go. We'll just move down here. What you'll gain, you will get experience working with cross-disciplinary teams, shipping real-world products. Okay, so this doesn't, for me, go into what team they're on. It just shows what they'll learn. I would have wanted something more here, but I do like that it says hands-on mentorship. I think that's super important. Responsibilities. So it's always interesting to see responsibilities versus requirements. Some people do it great, some people don't, but responsibilities work with variety of technologies. So when I'm doing tech, they do languages and technology. So I want to know what they're actually working on. What kind of shop are they? The bigger the company, the more technologies I have found that they work on. That is not necessarily true. That's just, I don't know, seems what I've seen. So right here, they put a few. These are the core languages here, Go and Ruby. I would assume this is what they use. Now, Go's a little bit newer. Ruby has been around a lot longer. So I would think that they are a Ruby shop, perhaps, that is also working in Go. And so as long as the person that does Ruby is interested in Go, this could maybe be happy paradise here. We'll see. I'm not quite clear. So we're going to keep going down. Obviously read this, get to know all of the lingo, But let's just go down. We'll go to requirements. So they want 4+ years. So to them, uh, a senior engineer is 4+ years. Sometimes I see that as 6+. So we'll see. So there's not much here except for object-oriented paradigms. Okay, we're going to keep going down. I don't see any languages or anything that's going to help me fill this role. Okay, nice to haves. One or more of the following languages. Now here's kind of a trip for me. Ruby, Rails, Python, or Golang. I would have thought, first of all, Python wasn't up here at all. So I'm confused as to why it's here now. A lot of companies think that if you're a good engineer, you can pick up anything as long as you're willing to learn. And a lot of people do think that. However, it makes it very difficult as a recruiter because this opens so many doors, so many different people that you can source from. When at the end of the day, if you were to grab the engineering team, they would say, oh, people with Rails actually do better in our interview process, or people with Golang do better in our interview process. They have to know this. And this, I think the hiring manager should know. So although I like that people are open, it makes it cast a wide net. I think it's harder because when you're given a search that is really precise, it's like you can't get it wrong. And you also, from the candidate's perspective, you're able to sell it really well. And you're not going to have, like there's a lot of candidates that fall out mid-process. And we talk about that all the time. Like a lot of times it's just timing, right? Or the company moves too slow, like all of those things. But lots of times it's because they realize, wait a minute, they're not working on languages and technologies I want to work on. So that's very important to them. And that's why I kind of deem this not a great job description because it leaves a lot of questions. But this is exactly why you read these so then you can bring this to their attention. And then they have like a few of these other nice to haves. Again, read these, go through, get used to seeing stuff like this. But I'm not 100% sure this is going to help you in your Boolean search. This is the last. This is definitely stuff that people do put on their LinkedIns because that's another thing you have to think about. Even though a lot of people are using their LinkedIn as their resume, they're still not super thorough as to like all of the things they work on. So that is difficult. So let's take a look at another one. I'm going to just go down. Oh, there's so many openings, so fun. Do you see this? There's 163,000 openings for software engineers in the United States. This why, in my opinion, it's really important that if you're going to post, you nail your job description. So here we go. We're at Zendesk. They make it very obvious right here that this is remote, located anywhere in the United States. This is huge. So it says Zendesk is looking for a world-class software engineer to join our growing core Rails team. Thank you, Zendesk. See? Now, there's no questions. They did a good job already in the first sentence, in my opinion. So let's see, Zendesk support product is the outstanding flagship product that brought Zendesk to where it is today. Our team's challenges. So this is great too. So first of all, there's tons of different, groups that team that you can have in software engineering org. This one's actually talk about what one this is actually for. And it even talks about the challenges, so I think that that's really important too. Oh my God, this is great. So then we're going to go down. It actually says what you'll be doing. I like this term a lot more than responsibilities. This is like a day in the life. This is great because on both sides, hopefully no one's wasting their time. This is really important. You use Ruby on Rails on existing massively scaled code base. That's cool, right? What you're going to bring, what you need to bring to this role. So then it also says here, these are our expectations, right? So this is a staff level, I think, yeah, said staff level. Their staff says 6+ years. I've heard a lot of companies say it's about 8 or 10+ years, but theirs is 6. So that's also really interesting too. So a lot of senior engineers, this might be an opportunity for them to up their game to staff level, which is really huge. They support distributed systems, so this is giving you a really cool setup for your Boolean search as to making sure that you're getting the right people. And then this makes me really happy. They actually just tell you, this is our entire tech stack. I love how transparent this is. And if I'm a candidate and a recruiter for that matter, I'm thinking this company must be great to work for. At least their interview process is spot on. They're very thoughtful. And they're not hiding anything. I think transparency, which is actually one of Talent Perch's values and morals, it's so important to be transparent at your work because how can you really do a great job otherwise, Or how do we know someone's not like struggling? And how do we know when it's time to mentor and when to train? And there's just so much. So, and then it comes here. It actually talks about Zendesk, talks all about it, what they believe in. They're an equal opportunity. They're very inclusive. This is all very important. All of these things are important here. Some people have, like this right here, about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I mean, this really seems that like they care and that they took the time to write this all out, because you can, like LinkedIn does give you like these teensy little things that you can put in there if you wanted to, but they took the time. They even took the time to hear, you want to know about our benefits? Go ahead, check us out. So this, hands down, is an amazing job description and something that you should kind of mirror off of, and be like, look, this had all of that. We were just on shift. It really lacked, and it had a lot of questions. So I'm thinking if I'm a candidate, I'm applying to Zendesk over that. And they're both rail shops, and they're both super accomplished companies. But just because of the transparency and knowing that I'm not going to waste my time, this is where I would go. So as a recruiter, you need to also understand that, go through job descriptions. Like I said, this is just as important as learning what a resume is like, because this translates very well. And then if your company or the client that you're working for does not have a great job description, then you need to push them to really get it done. And maybe that's something that you can help them out with, or maybe you pull it all together until it's ready. I do think you need to post, but it is what it is. Not a lot of companies do hire inbound applicants because everyone's used to very willy-nilly job descriptions, which then gets those same type of people that just apply to every single position because they just figure they'll just look at the role when the company gets back. So that's interesting. All right, cool. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you do push yourself to really do your own research and understand, like, whatever, roles you're trying to fill, you go ahead and just look on here. LinkedIn has a great interface for this, and you're going to learn how to talk the talk just by reading their job description. So it's crucial.
Hey, hope you enjoyed that short share screen of job description review, and I hope it all made sense. And as you know, that this is something that you do really have to work with a hiring manager on. And if you are doing contingency recruiting, you very much have to as well. You don't want to go fishing in the wrong pond. When you're internal, you'll find out sooner if you're fishing in the wrong pond, but with external, unfortunately, you don't have that benefit. So definitely get good at reading job descriptions and bringing to the attention of the company, like, look, this maybe isn't that great because of XYZ. All right. So I will see you every Thursday at noon. And do not forget that money is just a vessel that gets you to do all the amazing things you want to go do. Go live your life. Have a safe holiday weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.